Hey everybody, I'm your host Green Tea of GreenTeaWithTamara.tv, celebrating the GoGreenExpo thanks to Bradford Rand and thanks to Sanaz Afsar for this beautiful green tea outfit today. Yes, I am in style. We're at the Blue Sky Biochar exhibit, catching up with Michael Whitman. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on here today.
Well, biochar is a really incredible soil amendment that was discovered thousands of years ago by ancient tribes in the Amazonian region of Brazil.
I love it.
And in the last 30 years, scientists have realized what an incredible advantage this is to agriculture. So what we do with Blue Sky Biochar is we till it into the soil when we plant our crops, and it stabilizes the soil and holds the moisture in the soil so you use less water.
I'm so excited about that because I've heard so many bad things about the vegetables that we eat being depleted of all their nutrients because of the soil. So you're putting nutrients back into the soil.
We're preserving the nutrients, so when you put your fertilizer in your soil, the biochar holds it and keeps it available for the plants to have access to, sort of like a bank. They can withdraw whenever they need it. So when you water, the nutrients don't wash downstream and create eco-havoc in another place. So it really is a great advantage to farmers or people doing home gardening.
Now, if we had something so healthy in the past, how did we go so wrong with this dirty fuel that we're using these days?
Well, in the last 150 years, we've had such cheap fertilizers from petroleum sources that nobody ever thought to look anywhere else.
Just because it was cheap, they were just saving money?
It was cheap, and they monopolized it. But one of the interesting things about biochar is that for thousands of years, these ancient tribes did this. But in 1567, when the Spanish explorers came and saw what they were doing, they were so amazed by it that they wrote in their journals all these great stories about this. Big cities, lots of population, and great agriculture. But unfortunately, they brought smallpox with them and wiped out the population in 50 years. So everything grew over it. The jungle grew over this incredible society, and it disappeared. So we didn't know about it until scientists researched the land down there and saw that this biochar was in the soil and is still stable after all these years. And they knew that it was done by humans. It didn't happen by nature. So as a result, we've been researching this, and now we've come up with a product that absorbs and holds the moisture for the plant, absorbs and holds the nutrients, and it also makes the root systems extremely healthy by setting the right environment for them. And then the fourth thing it does is it captures carbon. We can sequester carbon and remove it from the atmosphere and bury it in the ground. So when we put biochar in the ground, it's carbon negative. So if we were to use biochar throughout agriculture throughout the world, we can literally reverse the clock on the carbon in the atmosphere, more so than any other energy or alternative energy source that we're doing. Now, we want to do all those things, electric cars and all kinds of cleaner things, solar, wind power, but biochar is one of the most significant things for reducing CO2 gases in the atmosphere.
All right, so what are some of the big successes that your company has already had?
Well, we have farmers that have been using biochar and having incredible results. For instance, we have one guy up in Pahrump, Nevada on a dry lake bed, and the soil is terrible. What he did was 7 years ago, put it into his soil, and after the second year, he saw some differences, but it was the third year that everything started growing. He went from 3-foot tall tomato plants to 8-foot tall tomato plants, 8 times the output, but more than just the output, the quality of each tomato was so amazing. His peppers.
And the taste probably too.
Oh,
right?
Tastes incredible. In fact, he told me a story recently that he grew a cabbage that he could hide behind.
Oh my God.
And this is a photograph of that cabbage.
Oh my God, yes.
that
I think
Dan
I could
has
hide behind that cabbage.
It's pretty
there
amazing.
He is.
There he is hiding behind it, exactly.
Awesome.
So
what-
biochar is the way we're going to replenish the soil on our earth
All right.
and reduce the use of our resources and create more output. Because the earth's soil has been severely damaged by all this chemical fertilizer and all this big corporate, farming that's taken place. And now, even though we're looking to do more on the local level, having people in their own gardens and local communities using it, we want to also get the big farm companies doing it as well.
Yeah.
Because that will make a shift dramatically in our resources and in the ultimate environmental issues that we're all talking about.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you're doing your part to save the planet.
Oh, well,
and
I've been doing this most of my life. You know, I was one of the volunteer organizers of the first Earth Day in New York City in April of 1970.
wow.
So I was 17 in high school, and
That's about the time I arrived on the planet.
yeah, very close to it. So anyway, the influence that I got from that first event lasted my whole life, and I've been working on environmental issues all my life. I've been recycling for many years. I haven't thrown a battery away in 15 years. You know, I recycle everything.
That's amazing. So we're so glad that you're doing your part to help the healing of the planet. And at GreenTeaWithTamara.tv, that brings us hope, and that means healing our planet Earth. Peace and love.
Thank you.